on another ride review on my channel. I'm Marshall3498, and today I'm riding a 2017 Yamaha fz07. And first impression is this bike feels tiny. It feels like I'm riding a bicycle with a motor. Because it's a naked bike, and not only is there nothing in front of you, but it is super light. So it's kind of strange, really. Literally, I don't know. It's definitely very light, though. I don't know how much. I believe this thing, this bike weighs like 370, and it feels lighter than that. Like a lot of the Yamaha naked and sport touring bikes, it wears its weight really low, so it feels very, very good. But the display and stuff is quite fun. And these mirrors are not adjusted at all. I tried to adjust them before I left there, but oh well. That's what your head's for, I guess. But it feels pretty torquey for a little 700 parallel twin. It rides pretty good, but it feels like there's nothing around you. Like literally, other than feeling the pegs and feeling hard part around the seat, I feel like I'm not even on a bike. It's kind of strange, actually. I don't really know what to think about it. The display is nice and clear, although you do have to dip your head a lot down to it to see how fast you're going. It's kind of a bummer for such a cool little fun bike. I think these little bikes are perfect for kind of an intermediate rider, somebody moving up from a 300 who wants more power but not too much, so to speak. Just something to commute on or whatever. You definitely couldn't do a lot of turn on this bike because, you know, it's a naked bike and there pretty much is no wind protection. So it's really cold. It's really cold. Although in the summer, it would be nice, just because, you know, in the summer it'd be nice because keep you nice and cool, keep a lot of breeze blowing through your whatever kind of gear you're wearing. But you can get, although it doesn't have any throttle modes or anything, you can get as an option ABS front and rear on it, which is cool. It's not link brakes or nothing like that fancy. It's just a regular old standard setup. Pull the front brake. Front brakes work. Push on the back brake lever, and the back brake works. But for what it is, these bikes are a lot of fun. A lot of the big top motor bloggers like Jake the Garden Snake has one of these bikes and rides the absolute snot out of it. So although it is just a little 700 parallel twin, they make a lot of power down low. It's Yamaha's cross plane MotoGP inspired crank design as far as the crank timing and the camshaft. So it makes a lot of power down low. Like it's at 3,000 in third gear and it's just kind of chugging along. It doesn't really care. But this would definitely take some getting used to. You know, my bike, my Yamaha fz06 that I ride, at least has a little front nose fairing, and you can kind of feel the tank and stuff like that. But the bike's so narrow and nothing in front of you and so light, it would really take some getting used to it. I like it. You know, it is comfortable. It's an upright ride position. There's not a lot of bend in your knees or in your feet, so to speak. It's comfortable, but it definitely would take some getting used to. But this would be perfect, like I said, from somebody moving up from a beginner bike that wants something with a little more power, but not enough to get them in trouble. But make no mistake, even though it is just a little parallel twin, it has enough power to be fun. I think these bikes make around 60 horsepower, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it really just, like, even at 4,000, it really picks up the power and wants to go, and doesn't really mind what gear you're in. A lot of the new rider thing, what they go through is they want to always make sure they're in the right gear for the situation, and this bike doesn't really complain a whole lot as far as, you know, maybe being in too high of a gear to go around a corner. But I do like it. There's very little vibration in it. I feel a little bit in the pegs, even less in the bars, but it's quite fun. It definitely, of course, it's so light and wears its weight so low, it definitely wants to lean over a lot and in a hurry. But, you know, here doing 40 miles an hour, even though it doesn't really have any fairing, the wind blast is not bad because there's no wind buffeting. It's all clean air. But I kind of like it. You know, I think this would be a really good commuter bike for somebody, maybe as a second bike. Say if they have like a big sport touring bike and don't really want to eat up the miles on it and kind of save it more for trips, this would make a perfect it would make a perfect little second bike just to commute on, because these things get crazy good gas mileage. They get like mid 50s to low 60s mile per gallon Although I do not like the turn signal button. It is tiny. It's really small, and the horn is above it instead of below it. I don't really like that. I kind of had to really look down on to find it. Like I just took that corner like 20 miles an hour in fourth gear, and it just kind of didn't really care. Just chugged on along. But these bikes are. I almost bought one of these right before I bought my FZ6, moving up from my first bike, which was a GS 500 Suzuki. And I almost bought one of these, and I'm happy to say if I'd have bought it, I wouldn't have been disappointed, except for the no wind protection thing. But you could easily add a pretty decent sized windshield and not mess up the look of the bike, and maybe help a little bit for those colder mornings riding to work, and it wouldn't be that bad. But these bikes are super fun. I'm impressed. The display, that's the only bummer. The display really should be, I don't know, have a way to make it far forward. But that's not a deal breaker, because if you ride a naked bike, you know what speed you're going when you start going fast, because you're just going to get obliterated by the wind. But, it's a base kind of bike, and that's one of the things that just happens. You can't have everything. But the wind blast isn't bad. But this little back row rod, I'm not used to this bike. And people on these demo rides, they like to give everybody a thrill, so they kind of usually end up losing me a little bit like they are, but I'll catch back up. There's a stop. I've already been on this route once. That's my second demo for the day. There's a stop just up here, so catch back up. No big deal. But these bikes I'm quite impressed with it. I really hate that turn signal, though. That button is like, I don't know, the size of a thumbnail. It is tiny. But other than, the display being a little too far, where you have to look too far down to see it, and the turn signal button, it's not bad. I'm pretty impressed. Like right now, whoa, first gear. Oh, I rode suspension door in that parking lot. That was not almost fun. But it's quite a fun little bike. I like it. Going on along here, back down the hill. But for those of you who are looking kind of a naked, kind of mid-level sports bike, you really need to go to one of these Yamaha demo days and demo one of these bikes. This is quite fun. I'm having a blast. This guy in front of me is riding a Super Tenere, so he's standing up to see what it feels like standing up, I guess. But the display, you get a lot of information on here. You get a digital tack at the bottom. It's pretty easy to read for the most part. You also get a fuel gauge, shows outside temp, the motor temp, two trips, a total mileage thing. You get quite a bit of information, although it won't really show very much at once. Right now it shows the time and the outside temperature of 59 degrees. And it feels like it, but it's pretty nice. Yeah, it's kind of weird. This bike, it wants to lean in so much, it's hard to get used to. I'm used to something with a little bit of weight, and it just feels tiny. This would definitely be good for somebody of short stature. I'm 5 foot 10 inches tall with a 32-inch inseam, and I have no problem flat footing this. I have a little bit of bend in my knee, so it's quite good for that. For somebody who's a smaller person, it would be perfect for them. You still touch pretty easy, and not only that, it's pretty lightweight. So even if you were short and if you were a smaller person, and it was hard for you to balance a more heavy bike, this would be perfect, because it just doesn't weigh anything at all. So it's kind of fun. But exhaust noise is very quiet, though, on it. Of course, it's stock exhaust. I kind of like it, too. It's like the fz09. It has a very little exhaust note to it at all. It runs underneath the bike and exits right behind the driver's foot peg. Oh, yeah, she got a little get up. There's fourth gear, 50 mile an hour. It doesn't really complain. Group doing here, we're getting over for some reason. Oh, the lane runs out. Yeah, the mirrors, if I had them adjusted right, they're really wide and give you a good viewing angle. And and they stay clear under what little bit of vibration this bike has, so that's always a good thing. But other than hating the turn signal thing, I don't really have much bad to say about it. Shows up a little eco thing, like right now. Of course, it's not an eco mode. It just tells you when you're being eco. Well, I don't know why Yamaha does that in some of their bikes, but they do. Whatever. It is what it is. But it has like almost no exhaust noise. But I have heard people that put exhaust on these little parallel twins. They sound pretty good. They almost sound like a real big bore dirt bike or something. They got a good low kind of raspy sound to them. And they're available everywhere, of course, as this bike is one of Yamaha's very popular little bikes. Actually, I think this bike, if you ride with a little bit of sense and have some throttle control, I think this would be a pretty good first bike too, actually. It would skip the step, that a lot of people start on 300s, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. It would definitely be doable for somebody who's never rode before, just mainly because it is so light and minimalistic, I guess. Back going here. Clutch feels really good. It's really smooth. It engages almost all the way out though, but it is real light and quite good. Open clutch engagement. All these cars get by before we start going here. Let's see. Come on, guys. But yeah, everything about this bike, I can't say really anything bad about it, other than I don't like where the speedometer is. You have to look too far down, but that's not a big deal. And I think you get used to the turn signal. This bike is a 700, like I said, parallel twin. It is liquid cooled. Talked about the horsepower, makes right at 60 horsepower. Not sure on the torque numbers though, but it definitely makes it down low. It is liquid cooled, and it is chain driven. Of course, that's to be expected with a kind of more budget friendly bike, but that's okay. Chain maintenance isn't that big of a deal. Doesn't take very long to do it. Maybe twice a year, take your bike. If you don't feel comfortable with it, take your bike to a dealer and let them adjust the chain tension. So, but I'm quite impressed with the little 700 for a little budget bike. That's pretty good. I don't know how, being a naked bike without a windscreen though, if you rode for very long in the interstate, it would definitely beat you up. Because, here I'm doing 45 and definitely feel some wind push on me, but it's not too bad. But these bikes, they come actually with some good rubber on them size-wise for not only stability, but make the bike feel well, make it feel planted. They come with a 180 rear and a 120 front, and they are both 17 inches in diameter, so that's good. Ooh, Mercedes over there, that's nice. Yeah, they come with some good rubber on them. Yamaha didn't really skimp out on a whole lot other than the turn signal. I don't know why they didn't use something more in the other line of their bikes. I don't know if the FZ09 has that issue too. I'm not sure. It might have. I'm not familiar with that, so I don't know. But the bars are really narrow though. Kind of gives it kind of a supermoto kind of feel. But it's comfortable. The bars being that narrow, it's not bad. That just kind of makes the feel of the bike. You are a little bit lean forward, just barely. I'm more upright than I am on my current bike though, on my Yamaha fz07. For those of you who want to know about the riding position, you can ride this for a long time on a back road and be super comfortable. So, but our demo ride event is about over, guys. Thanks for joining, and if you're still watching, thank you also. If you haven't already done so, please like, share, and subscribe. I have much more other kind of moto vlogs on my channel. I have gear reviews on gear I currently own and thoroughly tested. Also have biker advice videos. Also have trying to think. Also have some scenic day trips that I've been to on my bike, and some drone footage of some scenic places in my area. Several bike reviews besides this one. Just all around a good variety and good mix of stuff. So If you haven't checked out some more of my stuff after watching this, please do so. Search whatever else I got. I've rode several BMW bikes, so a couple Yamahas now, 3 to be exact, and a ride review of my current bike, which is a 07 Yamaha fz06. So just thought I'd share that with y'all. But if you haven't done so, go to the one of the Yamaha demo ride events. They do a really good job as far as some of the other ride demo events I've been to. They're really courteous and calm, and if somebody gets separated a little bit, they're not gonna, like, start getting angry with you and be like, what are you doing? Come on, let's go. They're really pleasant, good people to deal with, and I applaud Yamaha for hiring good, friendly people to earn them some more business. So kudos to them for doing that. But what a pretty place to ride in. Absolutely gorgeous. So on that, guys, that's about all I got on this one. We'll see you on the next one. Ride safe and have fun. See ya.